and go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Addicted to the Q. We are here, myself, Brian, Sofa King, our co-host, Brad with Meets My Mistress, Weekend Bum Barbecue, Kevin. He is not available tonight, and our special guest is none other than Daniel with Daniels BBQ.
Hi, guys.
So how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. You know, it's another day in paradise.
Yeah. Well, you've got an extensive set of you've got a couple rubs, but I keep seeing a bunch of sauces coming out.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm always innovating, always coming up with new flavors. And you know, whether I'm developing flavors for myself or for other barbecue companies, the mind just never stops.
What are some of the flavors I've seen? Is it Shine of the Moon?
Yeah. So Shine of the Moon is a fun line that I developed, about 10 years ago, just to give me an avenue to play with not only some moonshine, but with just stretching the boundaries. You know, all my moonshine flavors, I grind up fresh fruit. I don't use syrups. I don't use flavorings. And doing that, you know, there's some extra steps to make sure that it's shelf stable, you know, and you're keeping the quality for, you know, a long period of time. It's not like you're making it in your kitchen and, you know, you're going to have it this weekend. This stuff may sit on a grocery store shelf for, you know, 6 months, 8 months before, you know, every bottle's bought. And with that line of sauces, they're all limited run. So I only make a certain amount. Like I'll make 100 gallons of a flavor. And then when that 100 gallons sells out, then that flavor goes away and I bring out a new flavor. So they're always changing, they're always rotating, kind of like what a moonshiner would do with his flavored moonshine.
Yeah, I think it was a cherry bomb.
Yeah.
You had one time that I got from you. I think we were at Lenexa City Market. I think I rolled up there with the family and I saw you and I got a bottle when we were up there.
Yeah. So like cherry bomb, I always do cherry bomb in July every year, just because, you know, it's cherries, it's 4th of July. So every year, all my customers, everyone knows that come July 1st, cherry bomb's available. And those moonshine flavors, I only put in 4 stores. So you either got to find those 4 stores or you got to find me. And then I joke around. I tell everybody I'm bootlegging it. And then it's always available on the website.
Yeah. Well, when you're at a different market every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you are bootlegging it.
I am. Yeah, I kind of go just about everywhere. You know, I always joke around that if someone will give me a parking spot, then I'll bring the mobile unit there and, you know, I'll set up.
Yep. Yeah. So let's start at the very beginning with Daniels BBQ. How did that get started? So
it's an interesting story. My dad was in the barbecue business in Kansas City for 51 years. He spent 34 years of that managing a really popular barbecue restaurant here in Kansas City that's been around since 1934. So growing up, my dad always came home smelling like barbecue. That was just, you know, we all remember what our dad smells like when he comes home, you know, from when we were little. Well, mine came home smelling fantastic. And I always bugged him. I mean, I would be 6, 7 years old and I would bug him, take me to work. And he's like, oh, you don't want to work, be a kid. Finally, at 8 years old, him and my mom decided, let's let him go to work. Let's see, you know, show him what he's actually wanting to do. And so one Saturday, he's like, come on, let's go. Got me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, took me in, gave me the worst jobs possible. I was scrubbing under a 3-bay sink that probably hadn't been scrubbed in 40 years. I was out back picking up trash. I was cleaning tables. I was cleaning bathrooms. Now, remember, I'm 8 years old. And at the end of the day, he's like, well, what do you think? And I said, when can I come back? And from that weekend on, every weekend, I went to work with him. Every weekend. And by the time I hit 12, 13 years old, I was telling everybody that by the time I was 21, I would have my own barbecue restaurant. Well, it took me till I was 23, but I left my dad's restaurant. I went, opened up Daniels in Edwardsville, Kansas, and spent 2 years building that, and then ended up moving it to Tonganoxie. And then by 2006, I had Daniels BBQ in Tonganoxie. I had Daniels BBQ in Lansing. I had Daniels BBQ in Eudora. I had 2 professional teams on the circuit competing. I had a catering division, and I had the barbecue sauce in the grocery stores.
Wow.
And it
Busy.
was just me and my wife.
Wow. That's crazy. And now I know you still have them in grocery stores, and then you bootleg, like you say.
Yeah.
No more restaurant? No more catering?
No. 2006, I had a gentleman that kept coming in, visiting the stores, and he would chit-chat with me. And one day he asked me, he said, Dan, what would it take to open something like this? And I said, well, we're talking 2006 money. I was like, well, you could do it for $20,000 or you could do it for $2 million. It just depends on how much you want to spend.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no. What would it take to buy this place? And I said, well, this place isn't for sale. And besides, I wouldn't just sell one location, out from under the others. He's like, no, I've been to all of them several times. I'm really impressed with what you do. I would like to buy them. And so I just, thinking he was pulling my leg or, just blowing hot air, I shot a number off from the hip. I figured there's enough zeros in this number that should scare him away. And he didn't flinch. He's like, okay, cool. And we talked a little bit more. I've seen him come in probably 3 or 4 more times. And then one time he came in, he said, we need to talk. And I thought, oh my gosh, he got a bad sandwich. He got something he wasn't happy with. And so I'm like, well, what happened? What can I do for you? And he said, no, everything's great. Every time, everything's great. He's like, I'm serious. We need to talk. I want to buy these. And we hashed out a deal, and I sold them to him. And I just kept going with the barbecue sauces. I went and built an FDA facility and started bottling my own instead of using co-packers.
Mm-hmm.
And he bought the restaurant. I closed on a Saturday night. Monday morning, he opened up under his name. And what he was buying, because I leased the building, so he wasn't buying real estate. He was buying the equipment. He was buying automatically having employees. And he knew when the door unlocked Monday morning, he knew there'd be customers at the door.
Yeah.
18 months later, he went bankrupt.
What?
Well, he changed the portions. He changed the prices. He changed the service. He changed the menu. And he changed the name, which he didn't have rights to the name, so that was going to happen either way. And my customers coming in didn't see me in there, flipping sandwiches, cooking ribs. And then when they get their order, everything's different. And they didn't like it. He thought he had a better product than what I had. So, lesson learned.
Yeah.
He didn't. And lesson for me, because I was still relatively young. Lesson to me, I've missed standing in that restaurant cooking ribs every day since, and that was 19 years ago.
Yeah.
But with this bottling facility, with the co-packing I do, we pack for 46 other companies. We're adding new co-packing clients monthly. It's a lot easier work because I can schedule it and I can have time off with my family. With the restaurants, we were open every day except for Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day.
Yep. We
were open 7 days a week. And so there's no life. And with 3 restaurants, I was working over 100 hours a week. There's just not life. There's not a family life. There's none of that, which I didn't miss at the time because I'd never known that. Yeah. I did the same thing my dad always did. So it was nothing. Now looking back, I'm like, man, I was missing a lot of stuff. So with the bottling, it's great. With co-packing, it's fantastic because I get to help so many people get their product in a bottle, get their product on a shelf, get their product into distribution. I mean, I get to relive every time I work with a new client what I felt when I first got my stuff bottled.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 30 plus years ago. So when I come out with a new product, I'm excited, but it's not that same excitement as your first product. The first time you set your sauce on a shelf and you stand back and you watch and someone picks it up and buys it, that's exciting.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So and you've done. Now, were you doing competitions, or was it just like two teams you had?
I had two teams. One was mine. One was my brother's.
Okay.
I personally was doing 24 contests a year. I was all over. I was clear down in the Fayetteville. I competed a couple times out the Jack. I did a lot of competitions. My first competition ever, a friend of mine had a team. He was actually my co-packer at the time. And his pit boss, the guy that was doing all the cooking for him, they were wildly successful the previous year. And so that cook decided to start his own team. And so this friend of mine, my co-packer, came to me. He's like, Dan, I've already paid for the Speedway back before it was the American Royal. I've already paid for Lenexa, and I've already paid for, the American Royal. He's like, can you come out and do the Speedway? That was the first one of the season for him.
Was that,
said, yeah,
the Great American Barbecue or something like that?
No, that was up at the
dog track.
Yeah, that was at the Woodlands.
Yeah.
The Speedway had its own contest.
Oh wow.
We're talking 2000. It's 99 or 2000.
Yeah.
It was a Speedway cook-off. And I said, man, I've never done a contest. At that point, I'd never been to a contest. I had no interest at all. My dad, my entire life, always said, every customer that comes through the door was a paying trophy.
Mm-hmm.
They came to me, they gave me their money for my food. Why would I want to go out and give it away to get a plastic trophy? And so I, growing up hearing that's the way I felt too. And some of our customers, which were friends of ours, were competitors. One of them that became a really good friend of mine was a retired KCK police officer, and he was part of KCBS in the very beginning. I think his membership number was either 5 or 7. He was there in the very beginning. And I called him. I'm like, dude, I got to go do this contest. I don't know nothing about it. He's like, well, just cook the way you always cook and let them worry about the rest. And so that's what I told my buddy with the barbecue team. I'm like, I'll come out. I don't know what kind of pit you got. I don't know what we're cooking, but I can cook anything. You dig a hole in the ground, I'll cook on it. It's fine. I said, I know nothing about presentation. I don't know nothing about judging. I don't know how any of this works. I said, you just tell me when to be there and give me stuff and tell me to cook it, and I'm good. I tell you what, when I headed to the Speedway and I drove through that tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
when I came out the other side and I pop up that little incline, I'm getting goosebumps now. When I seen all these huge tents and all these, $100,000, $200,000 RVs and all this stuff, I thought to myself, what in the heck have I gotten myself into? I felt like I was way in over my head. But I committed to it, so, I'm going to do it. I pull up, and he's got like a 20 by 40 tent, and he's going to do a party the night before, and he's like, I need you to cook for my party too. And I'm like, okay, well, that I can do for sure. And he had a Lang smoker, which I'd never used one before. I didn't know what it was, but it was just an offset stick burner. I'm good. I spent that evening cooking for the contest, cooking for the party. He flew this guy in out of New York City to teach me presentation. The guy's name was Matt Bellardo of Bellardo Brothers. And I thought, oh my God, I am in way over my head. If this guy's going to fly someone in to teach me something, this guy must be like a presentation god or something. And I'm getting to learn that. And Lord knows what it costs. But he showed up that morning. He's showing me presentation. He's teaching me everything. We do all the submissions. And I'm like, is that it? And they're like, yep. Okay. And then we're cleaning up. We're doing things. We're like, all right, come on. It's time for the awards, And I'm like, okay. So we're sitting in there. And I'll be damned if I didn't pull a perfect score in ribs right out of the gate. Got a 180. And they're all, I didn't know what that meant. I thought that was just common. I'm like, oh, great. Good job. And they're like, no, you don't understand. Getting a 180 is a big deal. I'm like, okay, great. Well, later, my buddy called me on the phone. He goes, will you do Lenexa for me? Will you do the American Royal for me? I'm like, hell yeah, I had a ball. I mean, I got to cook for a bunch of people. I met a bunch of new people. I made some lifelong friends that are still friends of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, heck yeah, I'm in. But what I didn't tell him was the hook was set. That very next weekend, that week, I'm trying to figure out where the next contest is. And there was a little contest in McLeod.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, I'm in. I called them. They're like, yeah, we got room. I went there with, I had a Weber bullet and a Weber kettle. And I'm like, all right, here we go. I did that contest by myself and got reserve grand champion. And you want to talk about setting a hook. I was done. Take me off the grill. I am well. The very next weekend was Tonganoxie cook-off. And so I'm in. I'm there again. And two good things came out of the Tongi cook-off. One, I got humbled. I got like 8th place brisket. That was it. And I was like, oh, ouch. Okay, maybe there's more to this than just what I thought. Two, that's where I developed the competition blend number 9 sauce, was at that contest in a little tin thing right on the smoker. And I'm still selling it today. It's my best selling sauce. So yeah, at that point I was hooked. I was sending out entry forms. I was booking every weekend. It got crazy. And I had good success. I had a lot of losses. I had a lot of wins. I won my fair share of grand championships. I started teaching competition cooking classes with that buddy I was telling you about that had been in the KCBS for a long time. I learned a lot. Made me a much better cook.
I'm trying to. Now we're on YouTube, is how this will air, but it airs through all of our podcasts, like Apple and
Spotify,
all that. So
Yeah.
to let the people know, there was a little break. Like everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm looking up. I'm trying to find. I cannot find my first trophy, but picture it the size of a business card standing up was my very first trophy. That was for ribs at a competition.
Yeah.
First place. I was like, it was unsanctioned, but I was like, let's just go and have fun.
Yeah.
And this one was around for like 14 years, so I knew they knew what they were doing. It wasn't like a first or second year. We're just trying something out.
Yeah.
After that, about a month later, was the Great American Barbecue. It was at the Woodlands. I got 33rd in ribs and 24th in pork out of 350. Those are my two best non-calls, but my two best scores.
Yeah.
At that point, the hook was completely set with me. Going, I will figure brisket out. I'll figure that damn chicken stuff out. Nobody likes the chicken anyways.
Yeah.
So eventually I did. I started getting better and getting better. That was, let's see, that was 06 to like 04 to 010. So that was like, right in there.
Yeah. So the Great American, a lot of people don't remember it. And, I won grand champion at the Great American with the competition sauce. And when I say that, it's on the bottle also. People are like, oh, the American Royal. I'm like, no, it's the Great American. Oh, well, where was that? And I'm like, well, it was at the Woodlands. They're like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, I forgot. I'm old.
Yeah.
It was a dog and horse track, Leavenworth Road, off of 435. And they're like, oh. But I tell you what, I had lost my mind by the time the Great American come around. I was selling food at the Great American. I was in Vendor Alley right there selling barbecue, selling chili, selling all sorts of stuff. I was competing in the same square where we were prepping and selling food. And I had a rib eating contest up on the main stage.
Oh, wow.
So I was cooking, I think we cooked 60 slabs of ribs. Seems like it was 60 huge, 4.3 pound spare ribs, and cutting them up and putting them in pans. I had flown in 2 professional competition eaters out of New York City. And then we were letting people just sign up from the crowd. And at one point I'm like, I need to duplicate myself 4 times, because I had to be on stage and I had to be doing the competition. I had employees, serving, but I was still overseeing that. But I'll be damned if during the American Royal, I didn't do the same thing. I was selling food. I was in the Invitational. I was in the Open, and I was catering back in Scott Pavilion for Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
I've got a picture of me standing there shaking his hand, and literally his hand wrapped around and his thumb and his fingers touched, shaking my hand.
Wow.
And I look like a toddler. He's massive.
Yeah.
And he looked down at me after that picture and he's like, Daniel, I like your food. And I've held on to that forever. I mean, I have a framed picture of it just because it was I grew up watching Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
There I am standing there feeding him barbecue, feeding him Daniels BBQ, and shaking his hand. The rest of the American Royal didn't matter at that point. I'm like, screw the rest of it. I've already won. This is cool.
Dude, that just with Lou, that made my whole time there.
Oh yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yep. Brad's going back to the Royal next year. This is his first year cooking. He walked the stage. 3rd place turkey. First time cooking. Yep. Well, not cooking turkey, but first time at the Royal cooking.
I'm telling you what, any call.
A beginner's luck.
Well, any call is fantastic, man. But it's dangerous, just like what Brian was saying. You get hooked. Walking up there in front of your peers and getting an award. There's something about it, man. It is so addictive. It's crazy. And
especially the Royal stage.
Oh yeah. Yeah. To this point, I stopped professionally competing a year after I sold the restaurant. And that next year, I was like, I'm just going to do 2 or 3. And then I found myself with a list going, okay, I can figure this one out. I can do this one. I can do this one. So I had to go cold turkey. I don't even visit the contest to see friends because I'm walking around like, I could do 1 or 2 of these. I can just, it's like, that's my addiction. I'm not addicted to anything else. Well, caffeine, but contests, man, there's no way this guy could just do a couple contests. It's either none or every weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. I can do a couple and then take time. I'm just used to it that way with me.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, I got the little ones right now, so having competitive soccer, I mean, that's like
that's like all your time, man.
Do you have a game that weekend? Yes. Okay, scratch that one off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm used to it. It's fun.
My biggest thing is time off work on Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I had the restaurants, it was a write-off.
Yep.
You know, and I had an advantage because I could go into any one of my locations' coolers, and I would have 10, 15 cases of briskets to go through. I didn't have to run to the butcher shop and hope I got the right one, or make friends with the butcher so I could go in their cooler and, you know, pick through. I always had, between the three stores, I would have 30 or 40 cases to choose from.
Yeah.
And that goes for pork butts, that goes for chicken, I mean, anything. And in the beginning, I would just open the case and just grab. You know, I always did 2 briskets, 2 pork butts, 4 slabs of ribs. And then as I was winning and as I got knocked back down, and then I was like, oh, there's a little more to this than just showing up. Man, I'd spend an hour in the cooler just, maybe, nope, yes, maybe.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. My employees thought I had lost my mind.
Oh, we do though. We're certifiably insane the way it's like. My wife will ask, beginning of the year, I'll make like a stock pot for like my rib wrap. I do ribs at home a lot, so I make a ton of it because I do my ribs almost similar to my comp style, but I make them completely fall off the bone. That's how we like them at home. So I do the rib wrap with them also at home, and I'll make a stock pot. And it's literally what we use, you know, at competitions, but you're throwing your sugars in, your Tennessee Red, your sauce, your butters, your just everything, melting it down to where it's all liquid. And I'm just like, why? It's like mad scientists. That's all barbecue pitmasters are mad scientists, the way they do everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, in the beginning, that you telling that story reminded me that the one thing that my buddy told me at that very first contest was ribs. The judges don't want ribs that fall off the bone. Because in the restaurant, that's what made us popular. I mean, like the Tonganoxie Daniels BBQ, we were selling 19 tons of ribs every 30 days in 2005. I mean, you figure up how many slabs of ribs that is every month at one location. And we were popular because when you got a slab of ribs, you opened up that paper, you just went through and you picked out every bone, you tossed them off the side, and you enjoyed your ribs.
Yeah.
So it was a whole different atmosphere when he's like, no, they want to be able to bite it. They wanted to, you know, that whole thing. And so leading up to that contest, I was reading the rules like my life depended on it. So that was a learning curve there. And then as I made friends with a lot of cooks, I started seeing what you're talking about with they almost need like a scientist outfit on because they're using certain kinds of butters and certain kinds of this and certain kinds of that. And I'm like, dude, I use my meat rub and my barbecue sauce and maybe a little bit of brown sugar. On the ribs, I'm going. On brisket, it was just salt. That was it. And, you know, as I got more into it, I kind of got caught up into that whole, well, if we use this and if we do it like this, and, you know, you keep tweaking stuff, next thing you know, your prep table is so full of crap. You're like knocking stuff off, trying to flip over the ribs to do the other side. And I'm like, at some point, this is extreme.
Yeah. Brad knows me. We went to a contest in Effingham, Kansas, Atchison County Fair. I won the WWE belt this year. I 2 years in a row, GC'd that bad boy.
That's
but
awesome.
This year, I told them all what I'm doing is I'm mixing all my rubs together, because a lot of guys will layer rubs, 3 different rubs or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm measuring them equally, third, put them in a container, mix it up. I'm bringing 1 bottle. I'm going to put it all over the pork, 1 bottle all over the ribs. It'd be 3 different rubs, but it's 1 bottle. It limited that prep table down.
Yeah.
Like that was that. I ran a new rub that we're trying out this year, and then we're going to try it out again next year. Around Christmas it'll be released, but it was that and our white noise on brisket, which we won brisket, but it was too much stuff on that table.
Yeah. You start catching yourself with tubs.
Yeah.
Of all these partial bottles of stuff, and I had tubs on wheels. I spent $100 on a tub just for spices, and $100 on a wheeled tub for all my knives and my tongs and all my stuff. And there at the end, I look back, I'm like, when I showed up before, I had a kettle, a bullet, a pair of tongs, a knife, and then a bottle of rub and a bottle of sauce. I'm like, what has happened to me?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Brad goes from canopy cooking to nope, I need a freaking RV.
Yeah.
Now he's like,
it's coming.
Tornado got his first trailer. He got a new trailer. He's like, nah, I got to get another trailer.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you can't go down smaller, so I had to get a 4-foot longer one to haul more of the crap that's...
Of course.
Oh, yeah. It seems like every season your setup grows.
I know those
I got a
wings
longer,
look pretty nice.
I got a longer trailer. I need more tables. I need another tent. I need this. I need that. Next thing you know, you're like, I need a damn semi truck. What is going on here?
The Tornado got my first trailer, so I got a 4-foot longer one, which that included a new truck to pull the bigger trailer. And
oh yeah,
it's one after the other.
It's never ending. Yeah,
it is. I need to keep downsizing because I don't mind canopy cooking. I'm going to pick and choose. I mean, if it's going to rain on me, it's going to rain. But I pick and choose the super hots. I don't mind cooking in. It's the cold.
Yeah.
No. But I need to go through and re-downsize because I started going back up to where it's like, now the crap ain't going to fit in my truck again.
Yeah. You got to audit your setup.
Yes.
Yeah.
After the last contest I did before I got my first trailer, which was a Masters, and I slept maybe 30 minutes that night, I said, hell no, I'm not doing any more canopy cooking.
Yeah.
I like to sleep too much, and it affects my cook the next day. And it's crazy how much faster I did my second contest ever, and literally, I think everyone had left the parking lot by like 2 hours later. I was still there cleaning up, and I said, never again. So now, when I think about getting stuff out, I think about I'm going to have to clean it back up.
Yeah.
I bring containers with water to throw all the junk in that I'm not going to clean because I'll clean it at home. Makes it easy.
Yeah.
Soaking in water, rock and roll.
Yeah.
I do that with the bus tub. As soon as I get done using it, it goes right down below me in a bus tub. I grab the bus tub, and now the longest wait's waiting for the smokers to cool off to reload them.
Oh, yep. Yeah. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I was always a team of one. Beginning of the season, I always had family and friends who are like, oh, I want to help you with this one. I want to help you with that one. And I'm like, great, I'll sign up for it. We'll be good to go. So I'd send in my money, get everything set. And then the week before, they're like, oh, my daughter has this, or oh, my son has this, or oh, there was always something, which I understand, life happens. But it was like every season, they're gung-ho, and 3 of them never ended up helping with one contest, ever. And so I was always a team of one. And thereafter, I'd say towards the end of the second season, I'm like, okay, well, this is the way it's going to be. So then I started like streamlining how to do everything. And that's when I bought an 8x24 car hauler. That had beds in it that would fold down and up. It had a bathroom, a microwave, and a little sink. And I would just pile everything in and then pile it, had the ramp door in the back, set up everything outside under tents, put one of the beds down, and I set up, I stayed up, I submitted everything, I cleaned everything, the whole 9 yards. So needless to say, come along Sunday, nobody in my family wanted to be around me because I was exhausted and grumpy, and man, I had a lot of fun, but stop looking at me.
Yeah. Well, let's go back. You said you have a bottling company now, copacking.
Yeah.
So, let's dive into that.
8-9 years ago, I built a bottling company for my stuff. Prior to that, for 20, 21, 22 years, I was always with co-packers. And after I sold my restaurants, I actually went to work for a couple of local co-packers to learn the industry and learn the business. And the things I seen really motivated me to do it on my own. They're businesses, so you got to understand that, they're out to make a living and make a profit and make money. I get that. But I seen the small guys getting.
A quick pause to thank our sponsors, King Louie Meat Apostle, Barbecue Rub, our charcoal of choice, The Good Charcoal Company, the best drums on the market, Hunsaker Drums, OG Bandits Barbecue and Catering, our instant read thermometers, Warhorse Trading Company, Rum Runners Barbecue out of Florida, Butcher Barbecue. Now back to Brad, Brian, and the bum.
So that was the motivation. So now fast forward, not only do we make all the Daniels products, but we also manufacture for, almost 50 different small businesses. I am the smallest minimum order manufacturer in Kansas City. Most of your other co-packers are going to be, 200, 300, 400 gallons per flavor. If they'll take you, some of them won't take you unless you commit to spending a certain amount of money a year. With us, 100-gallon minimum. That's it. In a traditional barbecue sauce bottle, that's like 45 cases. Shelf life is generally 2 years. If you can't sell 45 cases of sauce in 2 years, then, we probably need to look at what we're doing. I'll never bump somebody because a bigger client needs something. The schedule is the schedule is the schedule, because your dollar is worth the same amount as his dollar. And if he doesn't understand that, then maybe he's not the right fit for me. Because it's not about the business. I want to grow the business, but we're busy. We're making money. I don't need to treat any business differently. So we treat the big guy and the small guy exactly the same. And that's made us very successful. I mean, we are constantly adding kettles. We're adding automation. We've just really started working on co-packing seasonings and spices. We're going to get into co-packing canned goods, like pickles and jalapenos and, different things like that. We've bought the equipment to do that. We're hoping to get that started in 26. But the biggest thing is being there for all these small companies. A traditional co-packer will make your stuff and you go pick it up. And Brian, I think you can attest to this. They aren't helping you sell it.
Nope.
They aren't helping you find distributors. They aren't giving you any free advice on how to take that next rung of the ladder. That's the other thing that sets me apart. During COVID, I built a mobile market that goes out to events. I mean, during the summer, we may be at 5 or 6 events a week. And it's a 7x16 trailer. The whole side opens up, and it's nothing but grocery store shelves. And besides all the Daniels products, I have 28 other small companies' products on there that I sell. So I'm taking the product direct to consumer. I'm building that consumer base for you. all over the city. I mean, I may be in Jeff City one day, I may be in Olathe another day, and Leavenworth and Topeka, and I'm all over. And the thought is, if I sell a customer one of your products, then when they run out, they've got to find it, and they already have your product. So you should have a website on there. That website should say, hey, it's available in this Hy-Vee and this price chopper, or on our website or something. So I'm getting those customers for my clients, which is self-serving, because then they sell more, which means I need to make them more. So, I mean, I don't know why other manufacturers aren't doing this. It just seems natural that if I help you sell your stuff, you're going to hire me to make more of your stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, to me it sounds good, better than like what the big guys do. Because I mean, I've tried talking and getting into them to co-pack, and I'm like, now, can you help me distribute? Do you have anybody or this or that? And it's just no.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, they will make your stuff, and you need to come pick it up, and then they'll cash your check.
Yeah,
And
unless you're a major champion, and then they'll put you in a certain company that I know around here, KC, who has flat out blatantly told me no and lied to me that they don't do anything, but I do know they do, because you see them and they promote it.
yeah, well, and
I'm not going to badmouth them, but it's funny. I'm not going to call them by name either. But
yeah, well, and everyone has their own business model and their own business plan. So I get that. I just try to focus on what I can do, and how I can be not just helpful, but more helpful than anywhere else you can go. I can't even mention how many different people I've helped who've come to me. They've been referred to me by, the Missouri Department of Ag or the Kansas Department of Ag, or through another client of mine, or just through friends, that they have a product that was their mother's pasta sauce.
mm-hmm.
And the family, mom passed away, and the family's always wanted to get it bottled and get it on the market because it's the best ever. And they have no idea where to start. And someone gave them my name. And then I've helped them, get UPC codes, get the third-party audits, get all the nutritionals, get the certified order of ingredients, get everything they need, a process authority letter. And then when they're there and we're filling that first bottle and we're labeling that first bottle and they're seeing those bottles go into cases, the emotion in their face,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's priceless.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people I've helped who have teams, who always wanted a team sauce, wanted a team rub, or the guys who have their stuff out, but they're with other co-packers and they're getting pushed around, or they're getting taken advantage of, or, they just don't feel like they're getting the service. I mean, ultimately you're a customer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It may be wholesale. You're not a retail customer, but you're still a customer. The stories I have, the memories I have of helping all these different situations, dude, it's become a mission. I'm out here to help these people, and yeah, I'm making a living doing it, but I'm trying to do it the right way, and I'm trying to be that guy that helps your dreams come to reality.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like it. I know we're going to talk about some stuff.
Yeah. We're gonna rock and roll.
Because I do. I gave you the recipe of the sauce.
Yep.
I even sent you a text with the one seasoning that I left off of it.
Yeah.
It was right in there. But yeah, because I'm interested in it all, especially how I mean, you help the small people. It's I know I got to get out and push it, but it's you're also helping. You're the co-pack distributor. You're like the all-around person with it.
Right. Well, and I mean, with the background in restaurants, the background in competition, the background in manufacturing now, there's a lot of avenues. There's a lot of experience that I can help.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been hired to help brands and products that I don't manufacture. I mean, the knowledge is there, whether I'm making your stuff or not.
Well, I know, like, Brad. I mean, he works for is it the state or is it just a private company you work for? I don't know. I know Brad works a lot.
We do.
You what?
We do. Like, we're a contractor for the state.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, he's constantly working. Kevin Hesse, Weekend Bum with his rubs, he's constantly working. I know a bunch of other guys, between rubs and sauces that might, listen to this and get a hold of you, go with you. It's to me, I'm like, for all of us that are working hard and constantly working and don't have that distribution time and that time to follow through with what you do, it's good to have you there that's going to be able to do that for us temporarily until we get the weekend where we can go, hey, all right, we're going to roll out and go do some distribution or something.
Right. Well, and, my big thing now, I've slowed down how much actual distributing I'm doing to, like, the stores and stuff. I've been working on agreements with other small distributors. We call them DSD, so direct store distributors.
And that works for me. I mean,
yeah, just because with the manufacturing and the consulting and that mobile market, I've become too busy to stand at the back door of Price Chopper because I got in behind the bread guy and he's got to check in 700 loaves of bread.
Yeah.
And I need to bring in 4 cases of sauce, and it's going to be 2 hours. So I'm working on that whole network. The other thing I'm adding to the lineup, like I said, we've started doing some consulting. And then I've got an agreement with a commercial insurance company now. So I can offer the connection to an insurance company that can do our product liability insurance, our equipment insurance, our trailer insurance, all the business insurances that we struggle trying to find. I finally found a resource that I've put all my insurances in, that we've got an agreement now that if I send somebody to them, they're going to take care of them like they're taking care of me. So it's a whole umbrella. It's a whole co-op. That way we have strength in numbers. Mm-hmm. Right now, like, I just switched when I found this company. My old company was State Farm. I had product liability insurance. I had, $2 million coverage. I had insurance on my mobile market. I've been with them, 7 years. And they did the insurance, but they weren't quite a commercial insurer. So everything was like, well, this should cover it, or that should cover it. Now with this company, they've got the coverage. And when you talk to them, they know what you're talking about. They aren't out here insuring someone's automobile. They're doing business insurance.
Yeah.
And so every interaction I've had with them has been great. And so I teamed up with them. So now I have that resource for people. They don't have to, try to navigate that alone. And that's the kind of thing I'm trying to build. Is you come to me, I'm going to have the resources for you.
Nice. I like it. I'm excited to move forward.
Yeah, I'm excited to get going on your stuff too. I've been waiting to work with you on that stuff for a few years now. And honestly, I'm glad that it's been delayed till now, because now I have a lot better network. I have a lot more connections. I have a lot more resources. And I think you're going to be really happy.
No, I'm excited. But this isn't about me. This episode's about you.
Well, so yes, I have my own products out. I get asked a lot. Well, why do you want to help other barbecue sauces? And my first gut response is, there's enough room in this market for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
The cream will rise to the top. And if someone I help turns out to sell me and my product, that's a compliment. That's the student besting the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, number two, that forces me to up my game. Well, maybe I'm slacking. Maybe I need to, because I pride myself in being able to develop flavors and develop products that are unique and special. Plus, I'm not just helping people with barbecue sauce. I mean, we do mustards and pasta sauce and hot sauces, and I mean, we do a lot of things. And like I said, we're doing rubs and seasonings, and I'm trying to help them all.
Mm-hmm.
You got a sloppy Joe sauce that you would like to get on the market, I'm your guy. You've got an Asian sauce, you've got a Middle Eastern sauce, let's go.
Nice.
So do you help, like, say one of your customers is like, well, I want to make a sauce like this, but I'm like, I don't know quite what to add or how to do this. You'll do a little bit of like, hey, we have this kind of concentrate, we have this kind of stuff to be able to add to it. Let's take a look at it and see what we could do.
Yes. So I have clients that just tell me, hey, I want a mustard sauce. I don't want it sweet, and I don't want a Carolina sauce, but they want a mustard sauce. And they kind of give me the parameters, and then I get to work. And then once I come up with something, I'll give them a sample, and then they can tell me, yes, no, not sweet enough, too sweet, too hot, not hot, wherever they want to go. We start from that baseline. I've got some small companies that just, Dan, I want to come out with a new flavor for my label. Okay, what are you looking at? Well, I want something with blueberries in it. Okay. Anything else? You want it hot? You want it sweet? What do you want? And they're like, I want it to sell. Okay, I can do that. So then I develop that flavor for them, and we work out an agreement where I get paid for my time, they get a nice new product, and the world's great, and hopefully it sells like crazy, and hopefully I'm making it. That way I can make more off of it.
Yeah, because it's one of those deals, the more that they sell, the more you make in bottling anyway.
That's right. But, at the end of the day, the passion is being able to help the small businesses and being able to just let my mind go crazy on flavors.
Yeah.
What can we do, and how do you want it to turn out?
Yep. No, it's exciting. It's all exciting. So where's your facility out of? Is it out in Missouri?
Yeah. So our facility's in Greenwood, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Which is the southeast corner of Lee Summit,
Yep.
if you're familiar with that area. Our facility is not fancy. It's not big. Some of the co-packers here in Kansas City have beautiful facilities. 60,000 square feet. They got artwork up. They've got, all these flashy colors. They may even have a factory store. They may, that's great. But the clients are paying for that. And where I'm competitive with these big guys is I don't have that. I don't need some artwork on the wall to make it seem like I'm so good at what I do. Our facility's utilitarian. It is inspected by the FDA. It's inspected by the health department. Everything's done right. But it's not fancy. And you can go to Greenwood and you can drive around all day long. You'll never find it. It doesn't have a sign on it. It's just in a commercial building, and it just has an address because we're not selling out of there. We're not looking for that notoriety. We're not trying to sell a bottle of sauce in the factory.
Let's play a yes or no game.
Yeah.
When I'm traveling, whatever that 470 or 50, whatever, I-70. Whatever road it is I travel, towards Lee Summit, and I get off, I think it's 291.
Mm-hmm.
You go right, and there's a lake down that road in Greenwood.
Okay. Yep.
Are you off that road, that direction?
Yes.
Is your building green?
No.
Are you close to the big green building?
No.
Okay.
So I'll help you with that. It's too far south. So we are in Greenwood proper.
Okay.
And we're a block off the main road, and you could be sitting right in front of it and not even know it's it.
I'll be darned. Because I travel that way quite a bit for a couple jobs at that lake. So I was like, I'm going to swing in one day.
The lake is further south.
Okay.
And
so
the only way, the only way you could be sitting outside and find us is you would smell the sauce.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to follow your nose.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because I was like, I know there's not much directions to Greenwood. There's like one main road.
Yeah. So everyone knows Greenwood because of all the antique shops.
Yep.
And we're sprinkled in there with them.
No, I'll be darned.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'll be out there one day. Take a look at the shop.
Oh yeah. You're welcome. I mean, the reason why we're that way about it is because we don't want to jeopardize any quality by having interruptions.
Yeah.
So when we get into manufacturing, we lock the doors. You don't want any outside air coming in. You don't want, outside people coming in. You don't want any kind of contaminants.
Mm-hmm.
So we lock the door and we're working. We're in production. We do allow clients to come in. I mean, we'll give you a tour and everything, but it's scheduled when there's no production. That way you can see it, and we're not jeopardizing anyone's product.
Yeah. No, I figured I'd be in there because you guys hopefully would have some of these bottles that I'd be picking up to bring home and sell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Eventually we'll get there. I'm going to have some products for you.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'm excited to even get a sauce. I'm excited to see if we can get my sauce finally out there rolling.
Yeah. It's in the.
I know.
It's in the queue. It's on the list. Like I said, we have so many people coming to us, and we kind of, everyone kind of falls into a queue,
mm-hmm.
depending on where they're at in the process. Some people have got their recipe done, but they need a process authority letter, which has to go through, a third-party lab, and it takes up to 6 to 8 weeks. So then they fall down on the queue list because we're waiting on that. And then the next product comes in. So it's not a quick process, but I've tried to streamline it as much as possible. I wish it was quicker, but generally from the time we start, like we analyze the recipe, we put together some numbers, and then, if those numbers look good, then we schedule a test batch. That usually takes about 3 or 4 weeks. And then when the test batch is done, then you get to taste it. You get to, look at it. You'll get a couple of bottles to sample and let friends and family sample, whatever you want to do, whatever process you want to go through. And then once we get the word back from you, like, hey, that's perfect, or hey, it had a lot of pepper in it, or, whatever the case may be, if it's right on the mark, then we can send those samples out to the lab and get that third-party audit started. And with that, they're going to give you a certified nutritional chart, a certified order of ingredients. They're going to give you a process authority letter, which is what your co-packers need to actually make your product and make it safe and make it correctly and make it shelf stable. And then in that meantime, while we're waiting on that third-party audit, is when the client gets to work on getting their labels designed, getting the layout done, getting everything ready so that when we get the nutritional chart and the order of ingredients back, It's just plug those things in, and then your label can go to print. While it's going to print, which usually takes a couple of weeks, depending on which printer you use, then we schedule your first production. And then that's when the excitement really starts, is because now you're going to get at least 100 gallons of, that sauce ready to go out to customers.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I saw Brad when he went, I think it was his first round of sauce. He went to his little co-packer out where he's at and played around in there and all that stuff. So I'm like, oh man, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm excited. Well, Daniel, it's all been interesting and fun. I hope
I've learned a lot already.
Yeah, I hope we can get more people on board with you.
Yeah. Well, I would appreciate that. I'm always available. I like helping small businesses or, individuals, like I said, who have a sauce or have an idea. The other two things I wanted to go over with you really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I've also got an agreement with a USDA facility now, and we've started, we're going to start bringing out all the old Daniels BBQ meats from the restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so pre-cooked, fully cooked, hickory smoked, cryovac, frozen, ready to heat and eat. 2 months ago, we debuted the Daniels hickory smoked burgers. So we've got burgers that are fully cooked, hickory smoked, nothing else on them. You don't need it. We grind the meat, we make the patties, we smoke the burgers, we cryovac them in 2 packs, and there's 4 2-packs in an 8-pack pouch. 90 seconds in the microwave, you go from frozen to dripping, juicy, hot, and ready to go. They've been wildly successful. So a batch of burgers, we smoked 7,000 burgers in one day. And I've done that twice now in 2 months. So I've sold over 14,000 burgers in 60 days.
That's crazy.
We're working on bringing out the Daniels hickory smoked ribs, the briskets, the burn ends. It's just going to be one product at a time. We're taking our time, making sure we've got it perfect. But the burgers are out. They're available on the website. They're also, I carry them on the mobile unit. And then the second thing I wanted to let you know, in between Christmas and New Year's, Daniels Shine of the Moon bourbons will be coming out. So I've got a distiller now that's helped me get all my distillery licenses, all my cola licenses, everything I need. And we're going to come out with 5 flavors of Shine of the Moon bourbons. First 2 will be available between Christmas and New Year's. It's going to be fun. I mean, I'm doing a hickory smoked honey bourbon,
Ooh.
which is fantastic. I've got a sweet and smooth bourbon that it's great just to sip it, but it's perfect for mixing. You don't have to add any simple syrup. You just mix in whatever flavors you want. You've got a fantastic mixer right there. There's going to be a barbecue bourbon. There's going to be a straight 4-year-old, just straight bourbon. Gosh, what's the other flavors I've got coming?
Taco.
Anyway, there's taco, yeah, taco bourbon. That would be a taco tequila. But don't give me any ideas because I'll try it.
I'm just saying. It's why not?
Yeah. But I mean, I've got all these bourbons that are going to hit, at the end, the beginning of 26. It's going to be fantastic. We've already got distributors lined up throughout Missouri, so hopefully you'll see them hitting the liquor stores and like Red X. We all know Red X.
Yep.
Down there in Riverside. They've already committed to it. And if you don't find it, email me, look on the website, tell your local liquor store, hey, I want this. It's Shine of the Moon. It's all bourbon. There's going to be some awesome barbecue-themed flavors.
Nice. That's going to be awesome. That is going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It'll take you to my main site, which is called Midwest Specialty Foods. I started that business when I started copacking because in the beginning I had so many people say, well, I'm not going to give Daniels BBQ my recipe. And so I started Midwest Specialty Foods to kind of ease their concern about that. I will say that, we have non-disclosure statements. We lock down all the information. And I've made so many sauces in my life. I don't need anybody else's recipes. Number two, we're all playing with the same ingredients. It's just with different levels, different amounts. No one's reinventing the wheel. I've seen everything used in a sauce. Um, so you'll not only see my products, you'll see all 28 companies. You'll see Primal Cry Thai sauce. You'll see Casey Classics cheese dips. You'll see Sweet Kickin' Salsa out of Green Valley. 2 Men in a Garden Pickles out of St. Louis.
Yep.
I mean, I try to help as many small guys as I can.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. I mean, and you're right though. It's you 1 pound recipe of rub. You could have, half of it be paprika. I could have 40% be paprika. It's the same freaking spice. We're all playing with the same 32 different spices. Just how many of those are we using out of each?
Yeah. Well, and you can't copyright a recipe. You can't, patent a recipe. So I understand everyone being concerned about it. I was in the beginning. I was like, what? But if you want it commercially bottled, you're going to have to give that recipe to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And if you give it to a big corporation, then Lord knows whose eyes are on it, because they may have 600 employees.
Mm-hmm.
You give it to a small business that cares, that's, I make this stuff with pride, not, just because it's a commodity. That there's very few eyes seeing it, and we've locked it down. All of our employees sign non-disclosure statements.
Yeah.
Everyone is doing this with passion and not just with profit in mind.
Well, you get into Walmart on their shelves, you already need to expect that Walmart's going to break it down, put it in their little great value shack, and recreate it. So
yeah, I mean, honestly, if you have the money, you can send it off to a lab and get anything made.
Yeah.
The key to it is the marketing. What's on the outside of the bottle is going to sell it. What's on the inside of the bottle is going to sell it the second time.
Yep. That's why
I'm looking at Snickerdoodle cheese dip.
Dude, cheese dip's awesome.
Snickerdoodle cheese dip.
Yeah. That, I tell you what, that Snickerdoodle, you go after that with graham crackers or Teddy Grahams, it's crazy. It's so good.
I just do that with pretzels.
Yeah. Well, so with pretzels, like the pretzel thins, they have a bread and butter jalapeno cheese dip. Ooh. And a raspberry jalapeno cheese dip. That's fantastic. They have a dill and garlic. They have a green olive pimento. They have an artichoke leaf. I mean, I'm just rattling all these off the top of my head because I've sold so many of these off the trailer. It's crazy. And I just started carrying a line of infused honeys from Honeysuckle Farms. Dude, I'm telling you what, their sea salt honey, their jalapeno honey, they have a spicy peach honey. I mean, these are flavors that you can play with when you're cooking that are freaking awesome. They're game changers.
Like smoked cream cheese.
Yeah.
The spicy peach honey on smoked cream cheese. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dang.
I see the wheels turning. You're like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll just go ahead and say it. Like, we got my white noise and the Sofa King or the savory pecan. Those two are under addicted to the Q for Sofa King. Well, I always said I'm going to do it like a bourbon special. I've got another one coming out called the Special Stash. The name of the rub is actually called Black Ops. Okay. And it is a game changer on beef for steaks, brisket, burger. I designed it to try to do like a one rub type thing. There's a couple other guys that have that out there, and I'm like, yes, and that's how I used to be way back in the day. That's how a lot of us used to be. And then competition things started changing, and it's like, oh, we're gonna have 3 rubs, we're gonna have 4 rubs on it, or whatever. Well, I'm like, let's go back to the one. How much flavor can you pack into one that would work on one? Well, I liked it, but then in August when Brad and a bunch of guys were at this Effingham competition, I was like, I'm going to tuxedo this. I added white noise to that, and my white noise is a white rub.
Right.
Well, this one has activated charcoal, so it's Black Ops is a little more on the black.
Right.
I call it the tuxedo.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's a game changer. That's all they need on a brisket, and it's money.
I'm excited to try it.
So I'll have to get you a bottle.
Yeah, I want to try it. Don't tell me about something and not let me try it.
Well, you're going to bottle it, but you have a year to bottle it because it's not coming out yet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't want to wait to bottle it. I want it now.
I got a bottle for you. I can get you a bottle. Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely.
Awesome.
It's just, I'm excited for it, and I'm not. Because I know Oak Ridge went out of business. They had Black Ops. Everybody was all about it, and I don't want to take anything away from them.
Yeah.
But I love the name, and I wanted that name. So I'm like, well, might as well. I've seen a lot of Blanco named rubs out there.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take anything away from them in case they do come back to the market.
Right.
I think my Black Ops is better.
Spoken like a true barbecue guy. I think mine is better.
Oh, no. Well, Daniel, I want to say thank you.
Yes,
we hope
thank you.
have great holidays with your family and everyone.
Yeah, you too, guys. And I wanted to tell you, I appreciate you having me on. And anytime, man, I've had a blast. And there's so much more we can talk about. There's so many different things we could do. So anytime, I'm always available, man. This is awesome.
Well, we'll
Sounds
get
great.
you on
Thank
here.
you.
Yes, we'll get you on in 2026 again.
I love it.
So I appreciate it. And hopefully I can get
You
that.
can give all Brian secrets.
No, I got an NDA. I want that Brad Palmer guy to sign with him.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, guys, anytime, just let me know. I would love to jump on here, or, if there's any time that, we could do something where we're answering somebody else's questions about manufacturing, about anything, man, I'm always available.
Well, maybe we do that.
Sounds great.
Maybe we set something up. Brad and I can go live with you one day, and we could promote it for like 2 or 3 weeks or a month in advance. We come up with the date, and we could be promoting it live Q&A with Midwest Specialty Foods about bottling, distribution, everything like that.
Yeah, and maybe we find somebody and we can just do little snidbit shows of the process. We find somebody that wants to get their stuff made.
No, that'd be awesome.
Let's every once a month we have something where, this is where it's at now. This is how it is. Have them on, have me on. I think that'd be fun. No,
that would be. For everyone that's listening, leave us a comment if you'd want to hear or have a live episode with Daniel, and we do
let us know.
Q&A questions with him. If you guys have any questions you'd want to ask him or anything, we just do it live. No, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea. Yeah, we'll hook up after this is all said and done. We'll come up with a date, and then we'll promote it. We'll roll it. Why not?
Sounds great.
And if nobody comes on, it's just the three of us talking again like normal.
I still have a good time.
I know. It's because my beautiful face.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far. You got a face for radio.
I
know.
I got to work on a fancy background like that. I need to figure out how to do that. I need a big Midwest Specialty Food, Daniels BBQ thing back here.
It's your picture. Just take a picture of the trailer and do the background. We're under settings. Uh,
I don't know. Mine's kicked me off 3 or 4 times, so I'm tired of keeping resetting it. So I
I
just
don't
left
know.
I
it.
see yours changed.
I don't know where it's
My
at.
Wi-Fi's got a hamster wheel today, and it's been
Yeah.
rainy all weekend. So it's just
I'm gonna get
you
my
get what
son
you get
involved.
tonight.
He'll do it for me.
Yeah, green screen background of some sort. I don't know where it's at. It's somewhere.
Yep, I'll get him on it. I'll figure it out.
Yep. No.
Settings, visual effects.
Visual effects. Oh yeah, there it is. Virtual background guide. There you go. There you go. Now everybody knows how we do it.
Right?
No, Daniel, thank you so much.
Yes, thank
we'll
you.
We'll definitely be in touch. We'll get another one of these going, and we'll get a live one scheduled with you.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So awesome. No, thank you, sir.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you too.
A quick pause to thank our sponsors, King Louis Meat Apostle, Barbecue Rub, our charcoal of choice, the Good Charcoal Company, the best drums on the market, Hunsaker Drums, OG Bandits Barbecue and Catering, our instant read thermometers, Warhorse Trading Company, Rum Runners Barbecue out of Florida, Butcher Barbecue. Now back to